Hey everybody, welcome back to this Monster Hunter World Let's Play. I'm Bibble as usual, and as you can see I've managed to grind out the full Jira armor set. Just seeing if I got any interesting bounties. And today we are going to go fight a Tobi-Kadachi, which is everyone's favorite, oh wait, first something important. So yeah, right now it's the summer festival in Monster Hunter World, and that means cool decorations in the Gathering Hub, festive outfits for the handlers, and availability of every single event quest out so far. So usually event quests cycle through which ones are available, but during the summer and also during the spring, all of them are available to do. The problem is we're not particularly high level enough to do most of them. But yeah, everyone's looking festive except for us. But every day we get these Twilight Festival tickets along with fireworks that we can use. I should probably try use them eventually just to show them off. But yeah, as I was saying, we're gonna go fight a Tobi-Kadachi now, which is basically a flying squirrel / electric snake thing. And it was a decently tough fight the first time I went against it, but it should be able to handle it now. Oh yeah, something interesting about the summer festival is that there's a special food. There's a special food here in the Gathering Hub meal, I should say, which is the Summer Twilight Beast, and it basically gives you maximum health and energy boost, but it only gives small buffs to attack, defense, and elemental resistance. And I'm just going to show off this very nice fireworks display first before we head off on our mission. Just taking the sights. But yeah, that's that. Let's go hunt ourselves a snake squirrel thing. I'd say Tobi-Kadachi has one of my favorite monster designs.
In order to use one of your specialized tools, you'll need to equip it from the item bar. They're used just like any regular item, but their effects only last for a limited amount of time. If the tool you're using stops working, don't worry. It'll recharge after a while.
I believe Tobi-Kadachi's relatively weak to poison, which is why they give you the poison knife just so you could shoot him a few times. Poison's quite a nice status effect. It's not the strongest, but it's free damage, and I'm not going to complain about it really. And it appears my recording was not as smooth as I would like it to have been. Oh well, what can you do? The nice thing about Skyfly power-up is that it just makes things a lot easier to find if you don't already have max rank. Doesn't really help us at the moment though, because we're like rank 0 in hunting Tobi-Kadachi. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, if we're at rank 0, it's gonna basically take a full scout fly bar to get anywhere. One thing that's nice about assigned quests is that the monsters always spawn at a certain location for these assigned quests because of cutscenes. So if you know where the cutscene is, then you'll know where to go find a monster. And it doesn't wander around, it's always there, so... easy pickings, really. Just get as many footprints as I can for the moment. So yeah, it is Tobi-Kadachi. As I said, he's a interesting snake flying squirrel hybrid. He's also thunder element, so actually Jura armor was not the best idea to use against him, really. But it looks cool, and that's what matters. We are using the water hunting horn, which he is weak against. And I'm getting thrown about by him at the moment. He is weak to water. But, our hunting horn doesn't do that much water damage, really. It's more about raw, which is fine. It just means we don't get to exploit his weakness as much as I'd like him to.
You've been hit with Thunderblight. Be careful. You'll get stunned more easily now.
Thunder Blight isn't too bad to be affected by. Yeah, you're gonna want to avoid that tail slam as much as you can, really, because it hurts a lot. He's got a few tail attacks that he does after he does his air spin. When he lands, he can either do a tail slam or he can do a tail swipe. And yep, so that's a tail slam. I mean, how do I? Basically, you just want to stay away from his tail most of the time, really. Try to break it if you can. You can't slice it off, so no extra cars for you. And I was a bit careless with that tail swipe. So yeah, Thunderblight makes you stunned a lot easier. On the bright side, there's no fall damage here, so that went okay. Honestly, I don't really like fighting him in these enclosed spaces. But I could say that for monsters in general, really. I'm gonna try my best to try and break his tail as fast as possible. I know I should be going for the head as a hunting horn, but Toby's tail is where it's at. The nice thing is that this water hunting horn has earplug small, which completely negates Tobi-Kadachi's roars, which is very handy because it means no recitals or encores being interrupted. Our Ghillie Mantle sadly won't help us out too much here. I have left the Pukebow on my Palico, just so I get a source of poison damage that wasn't these poison knives that I don't seem to be using. But yeah, your Palico weapon, I usually set it to some kind of status, so on my main I usually keep at paralysis or sleep. And that usually kicks in once or twice in a fight. Not as much as if you had a paralysis or sleep weapon, but it's definitely handy for when you don't have those on whatever weapon you're using. Sometimes I break out of poison or blast, but usually I build my Palicos for support rather than pure offense. Yeah, that was a flash fly. They make big bursts of light that confuse monsters. I'm not sure if they work the same as a flash pod in that they will knock down flying monsters, but I'd assume they would, because they do basically the same thing. So yeah, these monsters are all pretty well and not anymore, but it gave us a good opportunity to get a lot of hits in without being targeted by hard-hitting attacks. And whilst the Tobi is tired out, let's get some good head shots in. There we go, head broken. And that's the first knockdown. And as you can see, that the first what's it called? Slinger ammo thing has been dropped, so he's at least 30%. The skull is also showing, so that's 25% by now. So pretty close to death, really. Second one, so 20%. If he's up on the trees, what you can actually do is, if you use the ranged weapon or a high-hitting weapon to hit his tail whilst he's charging up on the tree, you will actually knock him down and knock him over. And that's a really good way of getting easy shots in, especially if you make him chain climbing up the tree. So he climbs up the tree, you knock him down, he gets up, he tries to climb the tree again, and so on, so on, so on. I don't quite manage to do it with my hunting horn, mostly because I don't get that many hits off on him from a high up angle. On the bright side, these piercing rods are pretty decent against him, considering he's quite long. But maybe I shouldn't have done that, so I could just get some time to, you know, sharpen my weapon again. Hey, an Anjanath here. Anjanath and Tobi actually have a turf war where Tobi loses, but for some reason they don't actually do it, which is kind of annoying because the free damage on Tobi would be nice. Annoyingly, Anjanath and Tobi do get off into turf wars when I farm him off screen, but you don't get to see that. Yeah, I managed to get a tail shot off in there, but it's going to take a few to knock him down, and he came off himself before I was able to do that. Getting a decent amount of Tobi-Kadachi materials though, so that's nice. Just gonna rebuff up. I mean, what else is there to say about Tobi, really? He's really hard hitting, but he's very much a glass cannon. So it's, I guess, is a good way of teaching you guys how to properly anticipate attacks, dodge them, do anything you can to avoid them, really. Because if you do, you'll come out with pretty much not having to use any potions and being able to just body him in a few seconds, really. I accidentally got, because he's usually up here, but it turns out he's sleeping down there. Not sure if that's his usual spot or not, but hey, let's mount him. To be fair, when it comes to Tobi nowadays, I usually beat him before he can sleep, so what can you do? Maybe one day I'll actually be able to show off the hunting horn mounted finisher before he gets knocked over. But yeah, that was Tobi-Kadachi, one of my more favorite monsters, and I think is pretty much a fan favorite. The thing is, I farmed him a lot because you pretty much get all the good thunder weapons from Tobi-Kadachi parts. So yeah, I've killed this guy a lot in my playtime, and I guess I got kind of bored of it. Well, not really, but I also usually don't fight him with Hunting Horn, so that doesn't explain all the mistakes. Some of the mistakes I'm just not great at anticipating stuff, but yeah, there's a definite different feel to fighting him with a slow moving melee weapon in comparison to the heavy bowgun I usually use, or the sword and shield that I farm him with nowadays. I do find that Tobi-Kadachi is a good trainer monster. I fight him whenever I'm learning a new weapon, because if you manage to basically work out all his moves, you'll learn a lot about the weapon that you've got. And his hard-hitting moves are good incentive to like learn when you can go in, when you can just keep dodging out of the way. You know how it is.
You're just the awesomest.
Hunters of the 5th, come see me. We've got an urgent quest.
So yeah, we've unlocked the garden now. So this is where we can
Bigger all the time.
basically duplicate any of our plant, mushroom, or insect-based materials. So what I am going to do is basically cultivate a bunch of materials for max potions, because I like to use those a lot. So we're going to need to use honey, not just for max potions, for a lot of things like mega potions, what else? Catalysts to make demon drugs and armor drugs. So yeah, honey's used in a lot of recipes, so I'm gonna make us a good stock of honey first.
Let's get the lead out.
You can also get crafting materials from the garden randomly, and it makes a decent starter armor set. It's for ladies, it's the butterfly set, and for guys, it's the, I think it's like greater horned armor. It looks cool. It's not too bad for starting out. But yeah, the trader sells a bunch of stuff now. Oh yeah, during the festival, prices are halved. So if you want to stock up now, I guess. Which reminds me, I probably should. I have a severe money problem on my main because I keep buying new bits of equipment, and equipment gets really expensive by the later levels. So yeah.
All right.
Especially because I keep trying out new weapons, and like at the ends of trees, they can cost like 64k on top of all the previous upgrade costs to
Hold nothing back.
to create. There is a monster I could be farming at the moment to get a lot of materials I could just sell, because I already made everything that could be made from those monster parts, but it's a pain in the ass really, and I cannot be bothered at the moment. I only really play Monster Hunter for the Let's Play nowadays, just because I don't want to burn myself out too badly, because I've pinged about 200 hours on my main now, which I know isn't that much, but I kind of want to play some other games on my PS4 at the moment. But first, let's check out, actually, let's check out the event armor first. So this is the diver gear, if you get enough materials from the summer stuff. And this is the Tobi-Kadachi gear, which is quite stylish, I'd say, for the ladies. It's got decent skills. We don't have a thunder we don't have a thunder weapon just yet, but once we do, it'll be quite useful. And it's got thunder resistance, so using this to hunt Tobi-Kadachi will, as usual, be quite useful. Evade Extender makes your dodges go further, which is quite handy, especially for stuff like Lance and Gun Lance, because it extends the range of their hops. We can't make the Tobi-Kadachi horn just yet because it requires ores from the next zone. But suffice it to say, once we do get there, I will make this Tobi-Kadachi horn and probably upgrade everything else, because I think the next zone is when we can start going to Rarity 3 or Rarity 4 horns. Let's make a bunch of Tobi-Kadachi gear. Annoyingly, I didn't get that many parts out of him. So, I farmed him a decent amount in my off time. So, by the next video, we will have the full Tobi-Kadachi set. Which looks pretty good. But yeah, so Tobi-Kadachi is a fun fight. What can we do in the meantime? We can't see... Oh yeah, I'm just doing that. Oh yeah, it's the well, here's the summer set for the Palico, which looks pretty damn good. And here's the Kadachi set, which I think is the absolute cutest set in the entirety of the game. But yeah, what was I saying before I got to this? Oh yeah, so I personally have money troubles on my main account. But I'm not farming as much as I could be, just because I don't want to burn out. I played a lot of Monster Hunter for like a good couple of months. I got into it about 3 months, 2-3 months after release, and I played it pretty hard after getting it. So I'm just trying my best not to burn out whilst making this LP. It does mean missing on a lot of opportunities to like get materials on my main, but I don't really mind, to be honest. I've got most of what I want to make. I say that, but I do have a small I do have a personal goal of making every single heavy boat gun, no matter how useless it is. But first, let's try out our very first event quest. We're not eligible for most of them, but we're eligible for 3 of them. One of them is just to fight some gases on. That's really boring. This is USJ Gold Star Treatment, which was a Japan exclusive event quest. More specifically, it's you got it from using a code that you got at Universal Studios Japan, which I've been to. It was quite nice. They have really big turkey legs at the Jurassic Park exhibit. But anyway, so yeah, Japanese players got this from going to USJ and getting a code, and you can use rewards from this event quest to make a special longsword and an armor set, along with a Palico, gear. The armor set's actually quite useful, but we're not going to be able to do it until A, we get into high rank, and B, the second USJ quest actually gets released outside Japan. So far, only the first USJ quest has been released outside of Japan. The second one is still exclusive, so unless you get lucky and you get someone who's like making lobbies specifically for that quest, you're gonna have to wait. But yeah, this is the USJ quest. As you can see, this is where we start off in the arena. This is the first time we've been to the arena. There's no tent in the arena, so you can't change your equipment or restock or anything. So it's more of a challenge arena than anything. And the first USJ quest has us fight 3 Great Jagresses. What's interesting about the USJ Great Jagresses, I should say, first I should not be fighting them with a water hunting horn just because they're strong against water. I really should have changed, but I completely forgot, because who the hell cares about Great Jagresses' resistance to it? Unless you're really low hunter rank like me. Anyway, my point is that the USJ quest has guaranteed gold crowns for Great Jagresses. So crowns are basically the biggest or smallest possible sizes for monsters. So if you get a gold crown, a large gold crown for, say, Great Jaggers, that's the absolute maximum size of Great Jaggers will be. And if you get a miniature crown, which is small gold crown, that's the absolute smallest Great Jaggers will be. And basically every monster, except for a few who have fixed sizes, have crowns. And there's an achievement for getting all the crowns, both large and small. I'm probably not going to work towards that, to be honest, because I've got about 10 or so of each on my main, and I really cannot be bothered to specifically farm for anymore. There are event quests that make it easier to get these crowns, but the thing is, there's certain monsters that aren't included in these event quests. So I think like out of like the 30-something monsters in Monster Hunter World, there's about 5 or 6, maybe more like 7. There's about 7 of the variable size monsters that are not included in the event quests where there's a high chance of them being gold crowns. Yeah, those ones you gotta farm normally, and I just cannot be bothered to do that. Fun activity, try and spot the second Great Dragus, the small crown one. It's ridiculously cute. I actually tried to mount it just to see what the hell it would look like, but I don't think I managed to do it. But yes, small crowns can be hilariously small sometimes. Like this is about the same, I think it's smaller than a regular Jagras. It's just about smaller than, just about bigger than a Palico, I guess. Same size maybe. But yeah, there's not much else to say about these guys. They're great Jagrases. To be fair, we could use... Oh, I haven't seen that before. They can knock you down and keep you underground, but it's not a problem most of the time unless you're like me and just keep forgetting to dodge. What was I gonna say? It's actually not too bad to get a bunch of Great Jagras parts, even low rank ones, because a surprising amount of Great Jagras weapons are quite viable at endgame. So stuff like the Great Jagras Greatsword, the Heavy Bowgun especially, those are actually quite viable at endgame. So you will probably want to keep your Great Jagras bits just in case. Oh yeah, the Switch Axe is also quite good. I will eventually show off these, but I think the next special weapon, well, the next weapon I would probably show off in a couple of episodes, I think. Not in the next one. It's probably going to be Charge Blade, just because I quite like it and I just want to show it off, even though I'm not super great at it. I'm okay at it. I'm definitely better at it than Greatsword or Longsword. There's just certain more technical aspects that are harder for me to do, I'd say. But yeah, that's USJ Quest 1, whatever it's called. Not too hard. And we will see when the quest finally ends. Blah 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 blah. So you see that blue ore over there? That's the event quest reward. They usually reuse other material icons, so it might look like something else at first. But oh yeah, the ending screen also tells you you got any crowns. So this was not my first giant crown. I managed to get a silver crown. I managed to get a silver crown whilst doing some off-screen farming, but for the achievement, only gold crowns count. So silver counts are like in the top 20% or so of size. I'm not too sure. I need to double check that. But yeah, you're gonna want gold for if you're an achievement hunter. I'm probably not gonna get platinum on my main. As I said, I don't really want to farm crowns, and there's also some really annoying ones to get that need you to hunt specific rare and endemic life. But for now, what I want to do is go hunt some not felines, grimalkins. These are the local Phalanx tribes, I think that's terminology. And I literally spent I cut out 15 minutes of wandering around the ancient forest trying to find these doodles. So yeah, this is near the top of the canopy. I've gone up, and if you do, you will find that little dude. That's a local grimalkin. And at the very least here in Ancient Forest, what you want to do is you want to chase it. Don't get ahead of it, because as I found out later in the video, it kind of stops if you do get ahead of it, and you need to go back and chase it properly. The nice thing about chasing it is that it does take you past the fourth and final camp in the Ancient Forest. We can't unlock it just yet, but we will. Just you wait. I will eventually go back and do the and get the
I think
Grimalkin tribe.
Camp here. Let's ask the head honchos.
I will eventually go back and get the Grimalkin tribe in the Wildspire Wastes, but that will be for another episode. I also still need to do the Endemic Life Expert and Piscine Expert quests there, so eventually. Yeah, this is where I overtake the Grimalkin and go a bit too fast. So you get to enjoy me finding their base before I can officially find their base. Yeah, you'll know you're in the right direction if you see those carvings. So why would you want to go and find the different Grimalkin tribes? So you know how my Palico uses that Vigor Wasp, portable Vigor Wasp to heal me up? Well, that's a cat specialized tool, and what the Grimalkin tribes do is give your cat different tools. So what this tribe does, the bug trappers in the Ancient Forest, what they give you is basically a portable flashfly, which was what I triggered earlier during the Tobi-Kadachi fight. It basically stuns well, not stuns, but it confuses monsters for a while, and it does knock flying monsters out of the air at the very least. So you don't have to use flash pods for that. Well, you probably still want to, because I think they start building up resistance, but I think resistance to flashes are shared between flash pods, flash flies, and flash fly cages, which is the Palico tool. So yeah, the bug trappers give you the flash fly tool. Some Palico tools are more useful than others. I'd say the flash fly is not too bad. Eventually it upgrades into a thunder bug cage, which acts as an extra shock trap. Could be useful to some, not very useful against elder dragons because you can't trap those, and not very useful if you want to like time your trapping properly, because the thing is, monsters do get trap resistance. So the first time you trap them using a shock trap, it lasts for quite a while, and then next time it goes down, and so on and so on. So if you actually want to capture a monster, you want to make sure that either the trap resistance isn't too high when you trap it so you have time to throw down your trank bombs, or you throw down your trank bombs first, because the debuff it gives lasts for about a minute, and then once it's stopped or in a place where it will run over trap, you put down your trap, and then you'll basically instantly trap it. That's the nice thing about trank bombs, and not something that everyone knows about, so I thought it was worth mentioning, really. So yeah, I actually forget to show off the Thunderbug this time around, but Well, I won't use it next time because I still want to hang on to the Vigor Wasp spray, but I will show off what it does. So yeah, we can't quite unlock the Ancient Forest Camp just yet. I still need to go fight that Raffian, don't I? We can get some other layered armors, which are basically so layered armor is basically the glamour system of this game. Specific layered armors look like different things, and as the name suggests, they layer over your armor and give you a certain look. The system is a bit clunky because the way it's handled is that it's not tied to any equipment presets, so even if you change your equipment, you're going to need to manually put on and take off the layered armor. I've put on the Kulu Van Braces because they have the Pro Transporter skill, which is going to be extremely useful for this final quest I'm going to do today, which is an egg transporter quest. Pro Transporter makes you move faster, I think, I wasn't looking just now, but I believe Pro Transporter makes you move faster whilst you're holding items, and also I think makes it harder for you to drop it when you get hit, but that's not really going to be an issue because we have the Ghillie Mantle, and the Ghillie Mantle actually completely trivializes transporting quests, as you are going to see. Excuse me. Just grab some rations just to get our energy up. One thing to know about this area of the Wildspire Waste is the presence of all these Kelby. These guys are not part of the quest. I am just killing them because it's convenient to. Why am I killing them? Because A, they drop Kelby horns if you hit them with a blunt weapon. And Kelby horns are used to make ancient potions, which are potions that completely max out your health and energy and fills them up as well. So a very good emergency button. I am also killing Kelby because I want to carve off a warm pelt, because that is one of the materials for Tobi-Kadachi's boots, I believe. So yeah, I just beat the crap out of these guys for a bit. They are not hard in the slightest. I feel kind of bad, but not really. And there we go, one warm pelt. So I can ignore that for a bit. So yeah, this is the Aptonoff's lair. Well, nest, I should say. If you don't have the Ghillie Mantle and you picked up these eggs,
to carry larger materials. Let's get this back to camp and prep it for delivery. Keep in mind,
if you didn't have the Ghillie Mantle,
an egg will attract different types of threats, either from hungry monsters or the egg's mother.
yeah, like the handler said, if you didn't have the Ghillie Mantle, you will attract all sorts of trouble from those Aptonoff, and they will knock you about and probably knock the egg out of your hands. But the Ghillie Mantle makes you completely invisible to monsters, so yeah. These are piss easy, as long as you remember to put on your Ghillie Mantle and maybe get some Pro Transporter gear, but honestly, you don't even need a Pro Transporter. I remember doing the second one of these without Pro Transporter, and I still did it perfectly fine. I just had to wait for the Ghillie Mantle to refresh its duration. But in this one, I managed to get both within the duration of one Ghillie Mantle, just because it's right next to the camp. It's not hard to do. And for our troubles from this, I believe we get a canteen ingredient, so yippee-ki-yay. More food's always good, especially because our canteen got upgraded after we beat the Tobi, as you probably saw earlier. And there we go. Quest complete. All within one Gilly Mantle duration. Nah. Yeah, during the duration of one Gilly Mantle's worth of stealth, I guess. If that's how you'd phrase it. We get some steel eggs, which are sellable items. They are not used to craft anything in any way or form. They are just there to be sold for cash. Which is good. Cash is always useful. Not gonna complain. Just gonna turn in some bounties. Those research point rewards reminds me that I have to go grind out some research points on my main, really, because I am running seriously low on them. Oh yeah, fertilizers lasts about 3 quests. Once we unlock more things, we can extend them further. But for now, see you next time. I'll farm up some Tobi gear in the meantime. But yeah, ciao.